Alrighty, so I chose to do my persuasive speech on why we should decriminalize drugs. Okay, so 80 to 90% of people who have used illegal drugs are not addicts. They do not have a drug problem. The majority of people who have used illegal drugs have jobs, have families, are well-bounded citizens. Their drug use did not result in self-destruction, poverty, and homelessness. A lot of times when people think of drug users, it's automatically puts them into a category where they are shamed upon, they are looked down upon because of their addiction. We discriminate against those who struggle with addiction. In 2018, 1.6 million Americans were arrested for drugs. 86% of these were due to possession. Citizens who are caught with the substance of using or just having it are forced to serve months, possibly years of time for possession. The war on drugs is a war on our people. It is inevitable to think that drugs could it is inevitable that drugs are going to be around for a very long time. No matter what, they're going to be in our society. There will, even if it's a no from the government, it will always be within our streets. People will always find ways to make them, to distribute them, and so on. Allowing the government, though, to arrest, incarcerate, and persecute millions of people, 86% guilty of nothing more than using or carrying the substance for personal use, where they are harming no one else realistically, is completely wrong. Now let me elaborate. Decriminalization does not mean legalization. I am not saying that people should be allowed to have cocaine on the streets or anything like that. Legalization or decriminalization just means that their penalties or consequences are changed. Instead of looking at drug use or possession as a criminal justice factor, we see it as a public health issue. We see it as someone who has a disease and is in need of help, who needs us to help them get back on their feet rather than criminalizing them and sticking them in jail. Clearly, it isn't helping. Drug usage is still as high as it was back then, maybe even so higher. And it is obvious that we need some type of change. We need to prioritize health and safety for those who have been caught, who have an obvious addiction and need help. A lot of times too, people who do want to come and receive help have a hard time doing so due to all the shame and embarrassment they receive from the fact that they are a drug user. Drug addiction is more than just the drug. It is human nature to bond to something when you have nothing. And a lot of times people will bond to drugs because they don't have anything else. Perhaps they don't have a job, or they don't have any friends or family to look after them or bring them up. We all need something, and when someone turns to drugs for that something, we shouldn't punish them for that. We need to help them get back on their feet if they do have a true addiction. The consequences that the future holds for people who have been sent to jail because of possession is far outlives their sentence. They face a life of discrimination perhaps if they try to buy a home, or they can't vote. When it comes to jobs, their life after that charge on them is very difficult for them to succeed after prison. Our jail system at the moment destroys the prisoners rather than fixing them. Rehab and therapy is a lot more successful in solving addiction than jail time is. A common fear of decriminalizing drugs is that it would increase crime and drug dependency. Man, the thing is that we are always going to be scared of the unknown. And luckily, decriminalization isn't completely in the unknown, because Portugal in the year 2001 decided to decriminalize all drugs. Since then, substance abuse and addiction rates have been cut in half. Individuals with substance problems are much more likely to recover in rehab than in jail. Portugal has lower drug usage rates and jail cases where drugs were involved a lot less than they did in the past, and less than Europe and the US. We can see that for Portugal that decriminalization has been successful. That their people who they see are sick rather than they need to be punished is helping their society grow within. It's helping it repair itself instead of allowing them to continue to get worse and to continue to have that empty feeling that they feel only a drug can solve. Our society is more divided than ever. People are standing up for what they believe in for the first time in a really long time. Change is happening. Ending the war on drugs is a step in ending social injustice for a large amount of people. The government should not have the ability to lock up, kill, abuse those who use drugs. Help protect their rights. Stop punishing them and shaming them for addiction. Help build a system that supports and invests in the well-being of all people. Let us build our people up, not tear them down. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a great night.